Here's a question for you. Do you need to touch your customers? Does your job require, handshakes and eye contact? Right. If not, if you spend your days on a computer or on a phone, there is an Indian who will do your job, perfectly qualified, at 1/10 your salary. And they'll work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. There are more English-speaking Indians than there are Americans. Most are wired in more ways than one. But to see what is really happening, to get past the outsourcing hype, I traveled thousands of miles across this land, one that fills you with equal parts pity and wonder and awe, and one that'll give you 1 billion reasons to care. Dawn in India. A nation of 1 billion awakes. In Bombay, there is a human density unlike anywhere else. Compared to Manhattan, there are twice as many people in half the space. This is a working-class home. Dad is a laborer, mom is a maid, the kids go to school.
How long have you lived here? 25 years I've lived here.
In Delhi, the vegetable market comes to life. Teeming, churning, a hive of pent-up entrepreneurial energy where personal space is the rarest commodity of all. Meanwhile, in the suburbs, dawn marks the end of the day at the call centers. Hundreds of thousands of Indians spent the night on American time, answering angry computer questions from Florida, reminding Texans to pay their credit card bill.
Ma'am, the amount due is $128.
While we sleep, they do our taxes, file our insurance claims, and read our x-rays. But for the talented and ambitious, these jobs just one rung in the ladder. With its manicured lawns and architectural wonders, Infosys is the Microsoft of Bangalore. They have long stopped advertising help wanted.
In the last 12 months, we received 1.4 million applications from young people around the country for jobs.
Less than 2% are offered a position.
Hey, what's up?
And as a sign of the times, this Indian company is now hiring American graduates. So if this is what's possible, why does most of India still look like this? Well, for starters, it is the world's largest and most diverse democracy. Though some will protest his foreign policy, President Bush is visiting the most pro-American country outside the U.S., a freedom-loving mix of almost every known religion, home to 150 million peaceful Muslims.
Imagine if that 1/5 of humanity in India were living like the people of Iraq today, blowing each other up in their houses of worship every other day and on the street. How different our world would be. So to me, India is a miracle.
But there is nothing tidy about this country, and that includes Indian democracy. It is a big, sloppy thicket of red tape, party politics, and corruption. Very little gets built or fixed. Mass transit is miserable. Water and power are a horror. In the capital of Delhi, 1/3 of the electricity is stolen. People just splice in and help themselves. And the traffic? Oh, the traffic. But if you sit here long enough and just watch, there's a method that emerges from the madness. Transactions, rituals, patterns. It's the same sort of self-organizing system scientists observe in anthills and beehives. Somehow, against all odds, things get done. And this might just be the secret to future success. C.K. Prahalad is an Indian-born American and a renowned business consultant. He says we should look at this grit and chaos not with pity, but with respect and fear, because this is the training ground for the next wave of global titans.
Every kid here who is walking around is getting trained to be entrepreneur, to hustle, and to get a little bit more than what he or she has. If you look at this, you're unlikely to see that this is a place where people are going to get educated on how to use computers.
Right. It doesn't look like much.
In other words, I think this is a metaphor for India. What you see outside is not what is inside. Outside, this could be a shanty, but inside is a Pentium PC.
I met Fareed while stepping over rats in a Bombay neighborhood. He was sending text messages on his cell phone.
What is your ID? Email ID?
You want my email address? There are 700 million Indians under the age of 35, 2.5 times the U.S. population. And there was a day when the best and brightest would eagerly bring their brain power to America, But post 9/11, visas are tougher to get. And with a mall and a McDonald's right down the street, why leave home?
3:01 on the clock. 3 बज चुके हैं. दूसरा घंटा है.
Priyanka is a popular DJ in Delhi.
Hi, welcome to Radio City.
And she conducted an on-air poll at our request. If you had a choice between taking your skills to America or staying in India, what would you do? The text message responses were almost unanimous. Look at that. We will challenge Westerners by working for our country because India is best. And that level of fierce pride and determination is evident everywhere. Is India catching up?
India is not behind you. He's with you.
Not behind us, with us.
You're seeing an explosion of 50 years of pent-up aspirations. And if you want to know what India feels like today, it's very simple. Pull out a champagne bottle, shake it for an hour, then take the cork off. You don't want to get in the way of that cork.
We did a similar look at China a few months back, and comparing the two, it's interesting. In China, a few Communist Party leaders snap their fingers and a highway gets built. In India, all this growth is coming from the street up. In fact, one author told me our economy grows while our government sleeps. They think that'll make it much more stable in the long haul, and China's going to get old before they get rich. This is a young country, so their labor force is going to challenge us in the next half century.
Right, so many millions more than we have here in terms of young people. But this prowess in technology, we all know about it, and science, where does it come from? Is there a secret?
It's a 3,000-year-old reverence for knowledge. In fact, every college we went into had the goddess of knowledge. They consider study a form of worship, and parents see education as the only way out of those slums, so they will skip meals to send their kids to private schools.
And tomorrow you'll take us to daily life.
See how people are outsourcing more and more of their lives. Their kids' education, outsourced. Their surgeries, outsourced. It'll blow your mind.
I know, you've been going door to door, so you've got to hear this.